I think the biggest thing too is when coming with depression and anxiety is that these things don't just go away. They don't get solved and get put in a box and never be dealt with again. They are a thing that will, like a travel bag, they're going to be there all the time. Now, it's on you on how you manage and compartmentalize everything, but it's never going to go away. And I know saying that in the beginning sounds like bad or discouraging, but it's more so learning how to deal with something. For me personally, I have an issue with walking. With the whole lupus thing, I was unable to walk for a long period of time. And now that I can walk, I don't walk the best. I have a subtle limp. There's certain things I can't do. Now, does that mean I just can't? I'm just not going to try and walk again? No. I have to know how to manage that disability, but I still continue on. I still continue. Greetings, everybody. Thanks for coming back to the channel. Today, I want to talk to you about creating with anxiety and depression. I'm outside because I've been inside the last few days. Figured to just kind of change it up a little bit. I was diagnosed with anxiety 5.5 years ago in 2019, fall of 2019, all while also being trying to be treated for blood clots and everything going on with the whole lupus diagnosis. But this is before they confirmed everything. When they kind of told me about it, I wasn't really too surprised. I kind of just needed more of a confirmation on all the things I was going through and the feeling. I feel like a lot of people nowadays deal with those kind of things. I feel like, having been diagnosed with it now for 5 years, I can reflect and speak on my experiences and be able to talk about what I do to be able to continue to sit in front of this camera, record, when I'm not used to this. This is something that's totally new to me, but also do like photography work, video work, networking, and everything like that. Obviously, I think it's kind of obvious is to just get out of your head. What I learned to do is rely on my instincts when it comes to kinds of being a human being, but more specifically in this situation, creating. A good example is going to a networking event. There's 100 people in the room. You're kind of nervous on talking to people. You don't really know if you want to speak to everybody in there, and you kind of just want to leave. But you have these dreams and passions you want to do, and there's 100 like-minded people in here. If you don't take advantage of this, it's kind of on you at the end of the day. I kind of just pulled from something that I learned from learning how to talk to women, honestly, is just open my mouth. When it came to approaching a woman, when I started thinking too much, I would start fucking up. So I just had to open my mouth. And then from there, my instinct would kind of carry me into actually having a successful conversation with somebody or something like that. These are like-minded people. They want to do, if not the same thing, they want to do something adjacent of what you want to do. So right then and there, you have something in common. And then when it comes to the whole networking thing, it's like there's 100 people in the room, but you don't have to talk to 100 people. Learned that having a solid 2 to 5 minute conversation with 5 people was enough for me to be able to follow up with and actually have some like valid connections with other creative people to continue to work with, whether it's an actor, cinematographer, editors, other photographers, models, whatever it may be. But I think action really overcomes the mental blockage of depression and anxiety, because anxiety causes you to freeze, of not moving. You kind of just rely on your instincts to be able to overcome that. Be okay with failure. I think a lot of people, especially artists, you get into this whole I need it to be perfect kind of thing, and that's just not reality. You are not a perfect person. The people you are working with are not perfect people. So why do you expect the projects that you're working on to be perfect? If you get it out your mind immediately, it helps so much more to actually get things done. If I know in my mind that mentally the picture that I have in my mind isn't going to happen, then I can be prepared for when things kind of come into play where now I have to pivot and change. I'm already expecting that, so you're already one step ahead of the game when it comes to planning accordingly. If you want to make YouTube videos, as you can tell, I kind of struggle with having eye contact with the lens or the inanimate object. But the more you do it, the more confident I feel like I'm going to be. If I look at the videos I did a year ago compared to now, it looks better. A year from now, they're going to look better. You have to find a way to continue to get your shots up. I always use Steph Curry as an example, where we look at Steph Curry as like the greatest shooter ever, but he didn't become that without shooting the ball every day. They say he shoots like 1,000, 2,000 shots every day, to the point where when it comes time to him to actually shoot inside the game, he's done it so many times that it's just a natural, fluid thing for him. Start taking action. That'll be the thing that'll really get you out of your depression and anxiety. Because honestly, there'll be times where I want to film something and I wake up that day and I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling anxiety about it not going the right way, blah, 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 blah. And in the bed, I don't want to do it. But once I actually commit, I gather my stuff, I get in the car, I go to the location. By the time I'm saying action, I'm already like in a whole different mental space. Then I'm actually glad that I actually overcame that step one. You gotta just throw that bitch in gear. Starting a car sometimes can be difficult. Getting into the car is the difficult process. Actually starting a car, moving it and everything is easy. I'm pretty sure we all feel the same way about whatever day job we have, but we still go there because we need money, right? So why don't you feel the need to express yourself the same amount? You have to have that inner longing. You have to long to want to follow your dreams and passions. It's an idea, but wouldn't you rather have that idea be a reality? You know what I'm saying? You have to have that overcome everything else. And also I think too is when there's an opportunity to talk about it with other creative people who you're able to figure out, have that conversation. It lets them know where you're at mentally, and then they might be able to open up as well. And now you have a better understanding on each other and everything. Most creative things require a team. So it's important to let your team know where you're at. I feel like a lot of times we're kind of quiet about these type of issues because we're afraid of someone being judged and everything like that, when in reality, we're all kind of going through this. I feel like the last 5 years, I've seen so many people speak about anxiety and speak about depression, where 10 years ago, it was just starting to become a thing where people would be comfortable. Maybe just because I'm in my early 30s, so 10 years ago is your early 20s, and that's when everybody starts feeling capable of identifying and speaking about these issues mentally and everything. And I think sometimes you have to kind of gamify things for yourself. If you're an RPG person, you got to build up these skills. So then that monster that was really difficult at level 1, at level 15, it's not even an issue no more. You know what I'm saying? It's really just repetition. Repetition will take away a lot of the anxieties of creating, in my opinion. Because then you'll be able to identify the issues because you've run into them. You'll be able to prep better because you've already fucked up, and you'll know how to build off of that fuck up. There's just a lot of different things that you could do to overcome anxiety. As far as depression, I clean my fucking glasses are dirty as fuck. Yeah, when it comes to overcoming depression, I feel like depression is a little bit harder because it's basically your shadow self just talking negative to you. You got to build your light side. As corny as it sounds, you really got to learn how to combat yourself and understanding that you are your biggest enemy. It's not real, and I say that now because I'm not in the thick of my depression right now, but there's moments where I'm going through some shit and it feels so real to me, and I have to remember that tomorrow I'm not going to feel this way. In 15 minutes I might not feel this way. It's okay to feel this way in the moment, but understand that it is just a moment. Things will pass and new feelings will take its place. I think the biggest thing too is when coming with depression and anxiety is that these things don't just go away. They don't get solved and get put in a box and never be dealt with again. They are a thing that will, like a travel bag, they're going to be there all the time. Now, it's on you on how you manage and compartmentalize everything, but it's never going to go away. And I know saying that in the beginning sounds like bad or discouraging, but it's more so learning how to deal with something. For me personally, I have an issue with walking. With the whole lupus thing, I was unable to walk for a long period of time. And now that I can walk, I don't walk the best. I have a subtle limp. There's certain things I can't do. Now, does that mean I'm just not going to try and walk again? No. I have to know how to manage that disability, but I still continue on. I still continue to do things. It's the same thing when it comes to depression and anxiety of like, yeah, I might feel this way, but now I know I have to manage it. Maybe you need to plan things ahead of time, way ahead of time, maybe a month ahead of time. Work with smaller crews, people that you feel more personally attached to be able to create something, because that's your comfort zone. And be creating by yourself. Try a YouTube video, try a YouTube channel, just to not even to become monetized and make money, but just to get out of your shell, to get used to speaking about the things that you want to speak about. Move with no expectation. Everything that you try to do, move in intent, not in result. Expectation is you're expecting a certain result from doing this thing, and if this thing doesn't happen, now you're sad. Now you're having anxiety about, am I a failure? Da 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 da. If you put the energy into the beginning instead of the end, which is a result, and the beginning, which is intent, as long as you're doing the thing, then you've already succeeded. This video might be trash as hell, but the fact that I sat down, turned on record, put the focus in, recording it, and now I'm gonna be editing this, that is the successful part. Whatever happens after that is out of my hands, and there's a freedom in that, knowing that that's out of your control, so don't even worry about it. Focus on the things that you're in control of. Focus on the things that you're in control of. Are you a good person? Are you trying to move in kindness? Are you giving grace to people? Because as a person with anxiety and with having dealt with depression and everything, when someone else might not be responding to me about a project and everything, it's because they're going through something. It might not annoy me, but it might cause a project of mine to falter. But at the same time, I've been in that situation before, and I still try to extend grace, even when your first instinct is to get upset. I think extending grace is the biggest thing, because you're going to want someone to extend grace to you in a certain situation. So just make sure that you're doing the same thing, because that energy comes back to you one way or the other. Whether it's directly from that person or someone seeing how you treat other people, so they want to treat you well because they see how your behavior is to other people and everything. You know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say, if you're dealing with depression, if you're dealing with anxiety, just try to put one foot in front of the other, even if it's one step a day. 1 step a day, a year later is 365 steps. That's a lot of steps. You know what I'm saying? You'll be able to turn it back around and be like, damn, okay, I was able to get this far. You know what I'm saying? So give yourself some grace, but try not to stay stagnant. Try to keep moving. Sometimes when you get in your brain so much, you forget to move. And there's certain periods in time where you need to move without thinking and let your instincts kind of take its course on things. Whether I'm on set and this light isn't working and I need to get this setup going, there's a time to sit back and try to think about how I'm gonna light this whole situation. And there's times where it's kind of like to hop in, I only got 30 minutes left, and to hop in and out and everything, and try to take it day by day. Practice on personal projects where you have the freedom to fuck up, because if you do that enough, when you get hired for an actual project, you'll be able to be more comfortable knowing your knowing your camera, knowing your editing, whatever, your whole process of writing dialogue and everything like that. You'll have a much better understanding on those things. So the biggest thing for me is just continue to practice, but practice with intent, not with expectation. Practice with intent is going to take you places. Practice with expectation is only going to cause you to become more upset about things because you're not getting the views you want or the thing you want or whatever. Just understand that is a whole process that is going to take however long it's going to take you. kind of wish I had more of a thing to round this up on. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully this little video helps you. You know, hopefully you can relate a little bit. You know, if you have any tips or anything on dealing with depression and anxiety while being a creative person, please feel free to share them in the comments below. If you want more content like this, you know, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff and everything. This is Hussein, the Undefeated Losers. Appreciate you. Stay blessed. Give yourself some grace. I'll catch you in the next video. There's more people coming near me, so this is another good example of how anxiety kind of stops me from feeling fully comfortable. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Chilly.
Yeah.
Chilly.
Yeah.